There we go. Now we got a better bite. Oh crap. Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. If you've seen by the first clip and the title, we put scales on the new grain cart, new to us grain cart, and I'm going to tell you about that. But first, we're going to go back a couple of months to the old grain cart, what happened to it, and why we got a new grain cart. So this is our old grain cart. It's an Easy Trail 500. Maybe 450 bushels is what it would haul, but it's an old cart, no tarp, no scales, but it served the job until last fall. If you notice, the auger ain't fitting in right, and there's a big crease. I had a tree with it up, but that damage is minimal. The big damage is down inside, because I had it up and it's warped up everything on the inside. You can't see it without a ladder, but we were thinking about getting a new grain cart anyways. So we've sold that cart as is and picked this one up a couple weeks ago. 672 Brent, and one of the things I said I was going to do is put scales on it. So it's got a 3-point scale system. You've got two-way bars on the axle, and knock my hat off, one here on the tongue. We had to take the existing tongue off and replace this, but it's a bar. And I got a kid here on a bicycle. So we started with this wheel first. Wheel come off super easy. Hub come off super easy. And this axle pin came out super easy. Took us about an hour and a half. So I didn't even bring the camera out here, and because pretty much straightforward on it until we got over here on this side. So it took us maybe an hour, hour and a half at the most on this other side. And this is supposed to be a one day deal. 3 and about 3/4 of a day is what it ended up taking. So we come over here on the right side. Off the bat, had a hard time getting the lugs off. Finally got them off. The wheel was frozen to the hub there. I just got grease on my fingers, just washed them. So we beat and beat and beat. The hub is cast, so we didn't want to bust it. So we ended up taking the whole wheel and hub off together. And we'll get back to the rest of it. So with the wheel and hub off, we rode it back. Had the forklift sitting there, so propped up against the forklift. And we placed a strap through the center of the hub, over the tire, and took a piece of wood and sledgehammer and finally popped that loose. But that wasn't the biggest part on this side. We ended up, after about 2 days, we ended up cutting a groove down through here all the way to the shaft to relieve the pressure. We had a porter power right here, so we could only go about 1/4 of an inch at a time, but we was moving it that way, and we done a lot of heating, but we moved it that way far enough to cut it off where we had enough room to knock it back this way. So we finally got it out, and yes, that hub is welded. Not the hub, the axle is welded to this now. But we kept wet rags over the weight sensor there. That way we got, kept it cool, didn't get hot. And so we got this done after about 3 days working on this one side. 1.5 hours on the other side, 3.5 days, or 3 days on this side. And here's the tongue again. Like I said, 30 minutes to take the old one off, put that on. No big deal. But we had to keep our wires out of the way. So we run these on the top of the frame rail. But there was a round tube for running wires. You can see we've got a camera wire running to that one, but the dang heads was too big for it, so we run them across top. Same way with this side, running on top frame rail. Took all of our excess and folded it up underneath here out of the way, and our weight box is there. So again, another tube, we couldn't fit our heads down through there, so we zipped tied them onto the top. And yes, we got a mess right here, but it's gonna be like that till we get it hooked to a tractor. And this part right here goes tractor. We've done tried it out, hooked it to a battery. One pull the grain cart in the fall with 8940. The reason why I haven't installed that in the 8940 yet is in wheat we're going to pull it 5088, because 8940 will be hooked to the planter probably, but it's not going to be nothing to move it from tractor to tractor. So another thing we done, I had this on my old grain cart, put a camera on the snout. And the reason why I done that is you can see down in the truck whenever you're filling it up. You ain't got to constantly look back. But I don't know how well my cable is going to hold. We're trying to get it where it won't get pinched. So I'm going to have to watch that and may come up with a different idea. I mounted another camera on this thing right here on the back. Fleetwood just had a bicycle crash, and the reason why I done that is number one, it will help me back up, but these idiots in these cars these days behind you, I can flip screens, and when I'm transporting it down the road, I can see what's behind me. So yeah, not a lot of videos here lately, but been busy and spent more time than I needed to on that. So here's something else we've had going on. Finally putting the A-frame to use. And this is kind of a sketchy setup. Very sketchy. But I had mentioned this. If you remember last year, we had the engine out of the 1660 put in here, DT466, and had somebody put it in. And cheaper is not always better. So it leaked oil, and come find out they didn't know nothing about gaskets, because wasn't no gasket here, wasn't no gasket on the oil pan. It was all RTV silicone. So waiting on one final gasket. We'll get this hopefully put together this week, and get to spraying. It's real pretty. I'm actually sweating today. So some people may be trying to plant corn here next week. Some of the big farmers, they got to get an early go. I'm still probably 2 weeks out, and that is if I can get all my spraying done. So short video. I've got a lot of stuff on camera, but really don't know how to put it all together, and some things I'm waiting on. So hadn't been a video in about 2 weeks, so here you go, a little short one. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And usually I've got where I don't ask people to subscribe or like or anything, but I've been putting a lot on TikTok here lately. A little bit different content from YouTube, from me on TikTok. So if you want to follow me over there, thomasfarmstn, or you can probably type in Russ Thomas, bring you to me. So that's it, and catch you on the next one. Oh, and I did make a TikTok and a YouTube short of us breaking this wrench. And a lot of the comments was we needed to heat the axle. We used a lot of heat. We banged. This was kind of a last ditch effort. No, it's not a rigid. No, it's not aluminum. It is cast Chinese junk. Not out much, but we were trying to just get the axle to twist. And of course, if you saw that clip, well, it's on the first of the video. We didn't have much luck at it. So that's it. That's all.